the Deputy Director of the National Disaster Management Unit, Pius Masai, is asking those who suspect that their relatives could have been involved in the accident to report to the Traffic Department at the Naivasha police station. He says most of the bodies were burned beyond recognition and would require DNA testing to establish the identities of the victims. The government places the death toll from the Naivasha accident at 39.
The mangled wreckage of vehicles. Experts looking for evidence. Curious crowds. Transportation of the remains of those who lost their lives. The difficult task of searching for more remains. And one miracle. The aftermath of the Saturday night accident at Karai near Naivasha, involving a Canter and 12 vehicles, including one carrying GSU personnel. On the ground, different versions of eyewitness accounts of what exactly could have happened here.
Lakini nilikuwa pale karibu kwa nyuma kidogo. Lori ikatupita ikiwa na mbio sana, ndio ikaja ikagonga hii magari.
Driver kama angejiangalia yeye mwenyewe aone kwamba gari yake imepoteza mwelekeo, angeingia kichakani na pengine hatungepata shida kama ile ambayo tuko nayo hapa.
The government's version not serving to give conclusive clarity to the situation.
This vehicle hit a bump and lost control, and it veered up to the other lane of oncoming vehicles, and in the process 13 vehicles got involved in these accidents.
This is what remained of the Canter that is said to have caused the accident. The driver's cabin, difficult to make sense of what exactly it looked like, as the government, which has instituted investigations, maintained it was a Canter and not a trailer. The Canter, which was headed to Nakuru, landed on the opposite side of the road. The government remained cagey on what exactly the Canter was carrying, but at the scene were 5-liter containers of highly flammable contact adhesive for use in bonding leather, rubber, and plastic tiles. Hundreds of small containers containing leather dye and thousands of lollipop sticks headed to the Dolphin Foods Company. The other 12 vehicles turned into metal shells. Everything else lost in the inferno whose fireballs propelled this vehicle some 30 meters away. It was difficult even to tell the make of a car. For investigators, such markings the only way to identify the cars. This number plate, metal steel in the shape of a vehicle, and what was left of the uniform of the 11 officers from the Presidential and VIP Protection Unit, perhaps the only indication of a journey cut short for the officers from the dreaded Recce Squad. The government was guarded on the security situation and what happened to the ammunition the officers were carrying. Experts in full chemical protection gear moved to try and collect more evidence. An exercise characterized by beeping sounds, whose meaning they would not talk about until further analysis. Government pathologist Johansen Odor led a team of pathologists to the scene, where investigators were still collecting what was left of those who perished, bones which were carried away in evidence packs. By early evening, even as parts of the scene were still smoldering, the wreckage of the vehicles which were involved in the accident were carted away. As all this happened, 23-year-old Carl Lewis Madenge, a fourth-year journalism student at the St. Paul's University Nakuru campus, was hoping that it was all a bad dream.
So tulisikia tu bang, and mimi nikachukuliwa na explosion, nikarushwa the other side of the road, na gari ilikuwa on fire. Then nikamanage kutoka na nikasave my 2 hands, tukatoka nao because pia hizo marisasi za askari zilikuwa zinalipuka because of the explosion, so ikabidi niwaondoe tutoke tukaenda nao. Then we managed.
For him and his 2 aunties, it was nothing short of a miracle.
Nasikianga tu accidents, sijaiona, naonanga tu kwa TV, but it happened. Actually mara ya kwanza sikuwa naamini kwanza, Then nikisikia vile watu wanashout kwa moto huko, nilikuwa tu nasikia I've never seen anything like this in my life. Yeah.
Carl Lewis was driving this car. Now hard to tell, but it was a Toyota RAV4.
Explosion, siwezi jua ni ya nini, because what I saw, my windscreen, I just saw something rolling, ya red, towards me, ya red, ikiroll. Then the next thing I had ni airbag.
With conflicting reports as to what exactly happened here, many questions remain unanswered, even as investigators try to tie up the loose ends in one of the most horrific scenes ever witnessed on the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. Rita Tinina, KTN News.